Reacher Season 3 Episode 4 Recap. Reacher's soft side is showing. Having finally returned to Prime Video, the newest season of Reacher is arguably the best one yet. The show's first season definitely set the bar high, and it's a hard one to surpass. That being said, I think we can all agree that Season 3 is already leaps and bounds ahead of Season 2. Nevertheless, as this season continues to unfold, Reacher Alan Ritchson is that much closer to bringing down Xavier Quinn Brian T. Also believed to be the nefarious Julius McCabe, the true villain in charge of everything. Episode 4 made it quite clear that he's definitely an evil dude. With Reacher now Richard Beck's Johnny Berchtold new lieutenant, he's managed to position himself perfectly to take down Quinn eventually. It's amazing how quickly that all worked out given he's only been part of the crew for a few days, but I digress. True to form, Reacher gets things done and ensures they happen quickly. Now that he's where he needs to be, he makes a pit stop at the cabin to inform Duffy Sonia Cassidy and the other agents about his new role. Upon arriving, Reacher and the others realize Quinn and McCabe are likely the same person. However, the show hasn't officially confirmed as such, at least not in recent episodes. They just keep alluding to the fact that Quinn might be McCabe. We have yet to see Quinn actually talk to someone as McCabe. It's entirely possible that Quinn is merely another cog in the wheel like Beck. It would make sense if Reacher waited until the latter part of the season to reveal its true villain, as they've done in previous seasons, so I'm not entirely convinced Quinn and McCabe are actually the same person just yet. Nevertheless, their assumptions regarding Quinn and McCabe prompt a surprisingly heart-wrenching story on Reacher's part. In an episode that packed an unexpected emotional punch, we finally learn why Reacher is so invested in taking down Quinn. We knew his involvement was personal. After all, Reacher believed he had killed Quinn years ago. However, after learning about what the man did to Dominique Cole Mariah Robinson, viewers finally understand the gravity of Reacher's motivations this season. While Reacher was still in the army, Cole was brought on to help investigate Quinn and his illegal sale of military secrets to hostile countries. As they worked the case and followed the leads, Reacher and Cole formed a mutual respect. She was the kind of person who wanted to do things the right way and took pride in ensuring her job was done well. After crossing every T and dotting every I, it was time to take Quinn down. Reacher made sure it was Cole who made the arrest. Because she put in the time, she deserved the win, and he didn't want to take away from her accomplishment. However, it didn't go as planned, and Cole was taken by Quinn and tortured at one of his remote properties. Reacher only realized something was amiss when a text message from Cole referred to him as Sir. On the first day they met, he told her just to call him Reacher, and she wasn't the type of person who needed to be told something twice. When Reacher arrived at Quinn's property, Cole was strung up in the barn, battered and bloodied. While it was clear from the beginning that something bad was going to happen to Cole, watching Reacher come upon her body was jarring. In fact, it made me pause, and in that moment, everything about Reacher's motivations this season fully clicked. I'm with Reacher. Quinn needs to die, like yesterday. When Reacher confronted Quinn, he tried to defame Cole by saying she was in on the plan and then double-crossed him. Clearly, Reacher knew better. Without missing a beat, Reacher walked Quinn to the edge of a nearby cliff and shot him with his own gun. Quinn fell into the river below, and Reacher assumed he died. However, as we've all heard time and again from Reacher himself, in investigations, assumptions kill. Now Reacher won't stop until he knows Quinn is dead. After 3 episodes of bone-crushing justice and relentless pursuit, Episode 4 of Reacher Season 3 shifts gears, just slightly, to reveal something fans don't see often: Reacher's humanity. Don't worry, there are still plenty of cracked ribs and smirking intimidation tactics, but this episode finds Reacher navigating not just physical threats, but emotional terrain as well. And believe it or not, he's kind of good at it. We pick up right where Episode 3 left off. Reacher, Neagley, and Dixon have tracked down a lead in the sleepy town of Hartswell, Virginia, a place that seems too quiet to be hiding anything major. But Reacher's gut says otherwise. And if there's one thing this man Mountain trusts more than his fists, it's his instincts. The setup: a mysterious warehouse fire the night before left behind more than just ashes. It's got the local fire department on edge, and a familiar name on a clipboard raises red flags for our crew. The name belongs to former private contractor Mark Danton, a man Reacher once investigated during his MP days. Back then, Reacher had recommended charges for illegal weapons transfers. Now Danton's name has surfaced again, connected to a new black market arms pipeline stretching from Georgia to D.C. via quiet little towns like Hartswell. Reacher smells a cover-up. And once he smells it, he doesn't stop until it's burned down or locked up. A moment of humanity, but the real turn in this episode isn't the fire or the corruption, it's Reacher's unexpected connection with a kid. During their investigation, the team questions residents who might have witnessed unusual activity at the warehouse. That's when Reacher meets Mason, a 12-year-old boy with a sharp mind, a missing father, and a habit of shadowing the warehouse with a pair of binoculars and a notepad. At first, Reacher tries to brush the kid off. "Go home. This isn't for you," he says in typical gruff fashion. But Mason doesn't budge. He's not just nosy, he's scared. And he's clearly smarter than the average 12-year-old. Over a peanut butter sandwich and a little coaxing from Dixon, Mason tells Reacher what he saw. Men in unmarked trucks, crates that clanged like metal, and a badge he swears looked fake. Here's where the softness peeks through. Reacher doesn't just listen, he believes the kid. And he does something even more surprising. He offers reassurance. "You did good. Your dad would be proud." It's a line delivered without emotion, but the weight of it is heavy. We've seen Reacher defend people before, but in Mason's case, he's clearly moved, haunted, even by the idea of a kid being left alone in a world that doesn't care. It echoes his own past, the chaos of his childhood spent bouncing around military bases, constantly trying to fit into a world he never really belonged to. Back to business. The lead from Mason turns out to be solid. Reacher and Neagley follow a convoy headed toward an abandoned airfield. In a tense stealth sequence, yes, Reacher can be quiet when he wants to be, they infiltrate the site and uncover a massive weapons cache set for international shipment. It's not just guns this time. There are encrypted comms devices and military-grade surveillance tech, stuff way above the usual street-level criminals. Naturally, Reacher decides the best way to end it is the loudest. One well-placed thermite charge later, the whole operation goes up in flames. But not before Reacher grabs one of the crates marked with a code he recognizes, Project Sentinel. The plot thickens. That one label connects the dots to a top-secret military program Reacher thought was decommissioned. It ties back to his old unit, and someone he believed was long dead. Suddenly, this isn't just about black market guns, it's personal. And Reacher's soft side? It might have shown, but now the switch is flipping back to rage. Before the credits roll, we get one last quiet moment. Reacher returns to Mason's house and hands him a small Army field notebook. "For your notes." Real reconnaissance this time. Mason beams and Reacher nods, a tiny smile flickering across his usually stern face. What this episode shows, while Reacher is often a show built around momentum, fists, clues, and consequences, episode 4 hits different. It slows down just enough to let us see a version of Jack Reacher we rarely glimpse. He's not just a wandering warrior. He's a man with memory, with regret, with an odd tenderness buried under all that muscle. Alan Ritchson plays it perfectly, keeping Reacher stoic and serious while letting us feel the emotional shift through small gestures, a glance, a soft voice, a hand on a shoulder. It's a reminder that strength isn't always about what you can break. Sometimes it's about what you choose to protect.